Awesome. Actually awesome. Okay, let me get the screenshot. Chart is awesome. But something else that's awesome is that 8 hours of work finally paid off. Not quite 8 hours, it's 7 hours and 50 minutes. So why, you ask, why did this chart take me so long to max? Why, you ask? Well, because it's not a 10.0. So let's start with the chart constant. I will not be convinced that this is a 10.0. So I think this chart is at least a 10.4. And for a reason. Because the tech is so hard and the consistency requirement is pretty high as well. So, Loweiro likes to put rate chart constants based mostly on stamina, right? And then it's tech and other things. I mean, it obviously explains itself why in Herger Joker, something like that with easy patterns is a 10.9. It's just because it's stamina exhaustive. So I would say Loweiro actually neglected the tech and consistency requirement of this chart. And I would say my personal constant for this chart is 10.5. It would not make sense. It would be ridiculous that a 10.0 takes me 8 hours to max. You've seen my Lacrima and LTO video. Lacrima took me 2 hours and 45 minutes. LTO took me 3 hours and 4 minutes. So this is just absurdity. It's not a 10.0. And if you're new to maxing 10s, be warned, don't pick this chart. This chart is super hard to max. And then let's rate the chart a little bit. Well, I revamped my rating systems entirely. It used to be out of 40, like I rate how good this chart is, and now it's out of 6. And the breakdown is follows. I think you've seen it in my description section. 1 point for theme, 4 points for gameplay, and 1 point for sophistication. So theme, is it coherent? Does the pattern connect to each other? Is there a central theme that the chart wants to display? Gameplay, well, does it play nicely? Does my hand hurt after playing it? And sophistication is kind of the hardest rubric to grade the chart on. It's about how they incorporate different patterns into the chart nicely, like they're to promise that there's a variety while it doesn't lack a central theme. So it keeps a central theme, but adds bits and pieces to make the chart great, to make it from good to awesome. So this chart, if I would rate, theme is definitely 1. I can see that the main focus of this chart is alternates. And sophistication, I will also give it 1 because there are also some doubles that are nicely incorporated within the alternates, ocean of alternates, right? So I would say theme and sophistication, they're perfect. But then the gameplay is a bit troublesome. This chart is, if I would say, gameplay is probably a 3 out of 4. I deducted 0.5 because of the end kill. I don't like the end kill. It's not appropriate. Like, you're putting the hardest pattern of the entire chart. It's literally the hardest one. Like, goes that way. The hardest pattern of the chart at the end as an end kill. End kill is supposed to be hard, but not the hardest part, right? So that's a minus 0.5. And then there are also some nitpicks. You remember the recurring patterns, like you have an arc, you tap, you go to the left, you go to the right, and the right hand comes like that, like that. Yeah, that pattern repeated 8 times, but there were 2 times where it was attached to alternates. So which means you have to jack one of the arcs. I will show you in detail when I edit the video, but like, it sucks. That's a minus 0.25. And then the break section. It's not a break again. It's just like LTO and Lacrima. The break section isn't so break, right? So, and it's worse here. So minus 0.25. That makes it 3 out of 4. So in total, I will rate this chart 5 out of 6. Still an awesome chart, but one, not appropriate for its constant. Two, the end kill is way too absurd. Well, that's all for this episode. And for the next one, I'm considering either Last End Conductor or Q1, the DJ Norican one. So I'll see. You shall see. You'll see when I publish the next video. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I hope you will continue to enjoy this series. And as always, see you in the next one. Goodbye.